Hello everyone, I'm Jackie. Thanks for joining me today. I create sea glass mosaics, and today I'm going to talk to you about my book that I've written. The title of the book is Windows to the Past, Creating Sea Glass Mosaic Art. So I'm really happy to be coming to you today from my beach, and I'm going to tell you about my book. And this is the beach that I collect most of my sea glass on, and it's a great sea glass beach, and I spend a lot of time here because my cottage is just up on the cape here. So I started making sea glass mosaics about 10 years ago, and I didn't have any resources to draw upon. I did quite a bit of research trying to find out what other people were using for glue and how people did it, and I couldn't find anything. So I've had to create the process myself, and since then a lot of people have asked me how I do it and have been looking for a bit of input. So finally I got to the point where I have quite a few mosaics done, and I decided to compile them all into a book. And this is a book that shows a lot of my sea glass mosaics, plus it gives a how-to to teach other people how they can take their sea glass from their collection and make it into a beautiful piece of art. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about my book. The book, at the start of the book, I have a picture of one of my simpler designs, and I want people to look at that. I'm hoping that people will look at that and say to themselves, I could do that. And then know that throughout the book, I'm going to show you how you can and what you need to do. So in the first part of the book, I talk quite a bit about why sea glass is important and why I've become involved in creating sea glass mosaics. I show you some pictures of some of my mosaics. You can see that these are quite large, and all three of these ones here are old antique windows, and a lot of my mosaics are done on antique windows. Some I've done on old frames as well, picture frames. They're smaller, but a lot of them are quite large because I'm really drawn to using antique windows. Then I have a chapter on collecting and sorting sea glass. And in this chapter, I'll tell you some of my tips for collecting sea glass. And the other thing that I talk quite a bit about is sorting sea glass. I sort my sea glass by color and by size, and I sort into all sorts of different beach treasures. And so I'm telling you quite a bit about why that's so important. It makes it a lot easier to work with when it comes to doing a piece of art. You know where your pieces are, that just so you can find the right pieces at the right time when you want to use them. So the next chapter is telling you all the supplies that you'll need to do this. The biggest question that I get asked, the most frequently asked question, is what do I use for glue? I do use clear silicone, and that works really well for me. So I talk about the different kinds of clear silicone and what works best. And then all the different tools that you're going to need. You don't need a lot of tools, but what I've used, I'm basically telling you the process that has worked for me. It doesn't mean that you might find some better way to do things, but this is what works for me, so that's what I'm here to teach you about. The next chapter, I talk about creating a design for your sea glass mosaic, and you can look at a lot of the designs that I've used, but it also gives you some tips on the principles of art and design and different elements of art, and what I've found out about those things that's kind of unique when you're working with the medium of sea glass. One of the things to keep in mind, because if you're thinking of a lot of these things, it's going to improve your design. Just things like how to get a good line, how to create more texture, how to create interest, looking at creating a good strong focal point. So I talk about a lot of those things, and also about drawing your pattern for your design, because the more planning you do ahead of time, the more effective your overall design is going to be. So I talk a bit about what has worked for me and maybe some of the things that haven't worked as well. and hopefully you'll learn from that. And then I have a chapter on attaching the pieces to your mosaic. And just a lot of things to keep in mind while you're doing that. The gluing process, how to arrange your pieces. One of the things that I find really important is how to fit your pieces together. It's kind of like fitting the pieces of a puzzle together, but it may or may not look well depending on how you do it. So just some tips on how to make that work a bit better for you. And also I added quite a few tips on things to add a little bit of interest, you know, so you may have your overall design, but then you want to draw somebody's attention in to look at a few more little details here and there. And so I've given you a lot of tips there as well. Some finishing touches. Basically, I talked a little bit about signing your piece and putting a label on the back and hanging it. And you know, just those finishing touches so that you can take your beautiful piece of art you've created and put it on display. The thing that I always use for a signature is a nunchuck. That's kind of my thing. So you'll find with all of my pieces I have at least one nunchuck somewhere in the piece, and it symbolizes to me that I was here, and sort of a reminder to everybody else that we've all been here and we leave a mark behind. So that's important to me. So that's why I include that in each one of my pieces. And then the last chapter, I show you a lot of my mosaics. So pictures of my mosaics, and I'll tell you a little bit about them, about, you know, what size they are, what inspired me to do them. Just a tiny little write-up on a lot of the different mosaic pieces that I've done. This is the piece that started my mosaic career, I guess. It's my cottage window, and there's a whole YouTube video on my cottage window if you want to look at that. It'll tell you more about that piece in particular, and some of my other YouTube videos go into a bit more detail on a lot of the pieces that I've included in my book. So I've included quite a few different pictures of the different mosaics that I've done, and that's my book. So if you're interested in getting a copy of my book, you can check out my website at jackietrimperseaglass.com. So here's the table of contents that tells you everything that you'll find in my book. If you buy my book and complete a sea glass mosaic, I would love for you to send me a picture to show me what you've been able to create with your sea glass. Thanks for joining me today, and I hope this has been very helpful for you.